dedicated to strengthening families. And Truck and Trailers USA, the Tri-State Truck Accessory leader. The Comcast McDonald's High School Football Game of the Week is on CSS.
And good evening, and welcome to Howard School for Academics and Technology for our McDonald's High School Football Game of the Week here on Comcast. This is Jeremy Reynolds along with Craig Cecil. These two teams, so why are we here? Howard comes into the game 0-7, McMinn Central 1-6 for the year. We're here because both these teams can make the playoffs, and one of these teams definitely will get in the postseason.
That's right, Jim. Here's the situation. We're in District 338 tonight. There's 5 teams in that district. 4 go to the playoffs. Obviously, Walker Valley is on top of the district, followed by Grundy County and Sequatchie, 1-1 in the region. Sequatchie is. So one of these two teams at 0-2, should they win out in the region games, they would qualify for the postseason. So in effect, tonight's game is really for both these teams the beginning of the playoffs.
Both these teams have struggled, obviously, so far this year. They're young, they're inconsistent, and really can't finish things off. That's really been the problems for these two teams.
And maybe tonight is a glimpse of the future for one of these two teams. As you said, they've been young, inconsistent. That lack of depth has cost both these teams. For McMinn Central, they've had trouble scoring. That's been their main bugaboo. For Howard, they need to hold on to the football. One of these two teams is going to get well at the expense of the other one tonight.
For McMinn Central, they really have a good player in Malcolm Jackson. He's the guy. They want the ball in his hands. They don't care if they throw it to him or hand it to him.
He can do the job on both sides, either catching the football or running with it. In fact, he has 15 catches, no touchdowns yet, though, and he also has, just last week alone, 111 yards on 23 carries. So it's pretty obvious that Malcolm Jackson is going to be the man to stop if you're going to beat the Chargers tonight.
For the Hustling Tigers, Maurice Mangum is the number 2 tackler in the entire area. Plays running back, but he really excels at that linebacker spot.
Really does. Averages 16 tackles per game, a lot of those for loss. He has led the Tiger defense, and he'll be called upon to do just that and more tonight.
In the middle of October, both these teams still have thoughts of the playoffs. Howard needs to claim their first victory of the season before they can think about the postseason. We'll be back with the opening kickoff and our starting lineups in just a moment here on Comcast.
I'm loving it. Great moments happen fast. 1 minute you're on top, but how long will it last? I'm loving it. So I'm trying to buy. Me and the lady should give it a test drive. I'm loving it. My thinking's far from average. Shopping cart just like a horse and carriage. I'm loving it. It's the real McCoy. It's the taste I was raised on from a little boy. McDonald's. I'm loving it. Come on, take the money and drive.
Get to Preble Kia. Save thousands when you buy your brand new Kia. Like a new Kia Rio priced over $4,100 less than Corolla, over $4,200 less than Civic. Or a new Optima priced nearly $3,300 less than Accord, over $5,600 less than Camry. Plus, make every mile count with Kia's exclusive 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Get to Tennessee's #1 Kia dealer. Save thousands. Preble Kia, 153 in Shallowford Road, Chattanooga.
Come on, take the money and drive.
Drive. And welcome back to Howard High School. This is Jim Reynolds along with Craig Cecil, our McDonald's High School Football Game of the Week here on Comcast. There you see Dan Williams, head coach of the Chargers in his 3rd year, trying to rebuild that program. His record 18-71. And they have a young football team. Formerly the head coach at Ottawa, Dan Williams is. He says, I was there at Ottawa, tried to turn them a little bit around, and Ted Gatewood came in and created a powerhouse there. So he's really done a good job. And there you see Herman Coulter, the head coach, now in his 12th year at Howard. He has really done a good job as well, 35-69 overall. And one of his best players on the team is his son. He says he loves coaching his son, number 2, Lance Coulter. We'll see him at a wide receiver spot tonight and also playing cornerback. But these two teams have struggled so far this year. They're very, very young, very, very inconsistent, and really have problems in the 4th quarter. When you are playing freshmen and sophomores against juniors and seniors, it really starts to wear on you late in the game.
Well, Jim, I think McMinn's head coach Dan Williams summed it up best about his team. He said, these are a bunch of pups. It's their first trip to the farm, and they don't know the difference between a goat and a dog, which I thought was one of the best quotes I've ever heard but he's really happy with the enthusiasm his kids have demonstrated so far. Well, that enthusiasm, though, as you said, is usually worn down by the fourth quarter if you make some mistakes, which lead to touchdowns for the other guys. And both these teams have shown flashes of brilliance, but they've kind of been their own worst enemy. We'll see what happens tonight.
Hustlin' Tigers 0-7 on the year, 0-2 in the region. This is only their second home game of the year. They're 0-1 at home. They played 6 games away from home so far this season. It's tough to talk about mid-October and playing your second home game of the year.
But if they ever needed a home field advantage, tonight would be the night, and they can almost expect it. Homecoming at Howard High School, a very, very big deal. A lot of folks here, a lot of alumni, and the Hustlin' Tigers want to show out for the home folks tonight.
They started out with a loss to Boyd Buchanan, one of the best teams that we've seen this year, then lost at Brainerd, lost at Walker Valley 28-8. Played their traditional rival Austin East, lost to them, had an open date, lost to Grundy County, lost at Hickson late, and then really got shelled last week at Lincoln County, one of the better teams in the state, 45-0. They have an open date next week, and then we'll take on Sequoia and still with a chance to go to the playoffs. For McMinn Central, a heartbreaking loss last week. Union County hadn't won a game in 2 years, and somehow they managed to hang on and beat McMinn Central 14-7 last week. So Howard will kick off and we'll get this game underway. Hustlin' Tigers looking for that elusive first win of the season. For Howard kicking off, Rico Council. That's just a good name. Council to kick off for the Hustlin' Tigers, and we are underway. Ball takes a hop and will be fielded up to near the 20, to the 25, and a good return for the Chargers as we're underway. One thing we talked about, Craig, with Dan Williams, he said the biggest problem they have is team speed at McMinn Central. So we'll see how the speed matchup goes here tonight. Starting lineup. See, Casey McDonald, they really like him. Williams, Underwood, and Schrick. There's Malcolm Jackson. Barnett's also good as well. Nathan Moses getting the start at the quarterback spot. And they start out in an I formation. Hand off, a little bit of running room for Jake Barnett, the sophomore. Barnett picks up a couple of yards. Let's take a look at that Howard defense. Our pre-bowl Kia starting lineup: Wood, Lewis, McDonald, and Ford. And then the linebacker spring. It's going to be fun to watch. Maurice Mangum work tonight. Council and Townsend are pretty good as well. And then that secondary, Lance Coulter, Campbell, and Mitchell as well. Second down for the Chargers, McMinn Central out of Englewood, Tennessee. And of course, the Hustlin' Tigers. They put out a couple of good football players in their day.
One of them named Reggie White.
I was going to say, not many schools in the area can boast of a Hall of Fame player like Reggie White, but Johnny Taylor, of course, played basketball for the UTC Mocs. Was drafted by the Orlando Magic. What a proud athletic tradition here at Howard, and it's all magnified this week because of homecoming and only their second home game of the year. I'm not actually sure the reason for this delay, to be honest with you.
They had to explain something to the Howard coaching staff.
They had to explain something to somebody. That's all I know. Second down, I formation. Handoff fullback, and again, look at the pursuit by Howard.
There.
That interior part of their Howard line, Wood, Lewis, McDonald, and Ford, they all just ganged up on the ball carrier that time, and there was not a lot of running room. Clock continues to run, no score first quarter. Region 3-3A, where there's only 5 teams. 4 make the playoffs. And these two teams, although they have struggled so far this year, they'd like to be included in the 4 and say, yes, we made the postseason. Third down play for Nathan Moses, really high on him at a quarterback spot. Again, awfully young. Handoff, not much running room. I think that was Jake Barnett, the ball carrier.
Not much at all, Jim. Howard's defensive line really controlling the line of scrimmage, at least on this opening series.
Here you see Darius McDonald, number 52, did a nice job defensively for the Hustlin' Tigers. And for McMinn Central, they have to punt it away. A 1-2-3 and out for the opening possession of the game.
Lance Coulter back for Howard, and he is extremely dangerous returning the football.
There's the snap. Good rush. He got it off, and I don't know how. It'll check up right there. So Howard will start in good field position about the 46, 47-yard line. So on the exchange of punts, pretty good deal for the Hustling Tigers. Let's take a look at Howard on offense. Here see the line, Orr, Lloyd, Stone, Lewis, and Darius McDonald, who plays both ways, as most players do. Mangum will see him at a running back spot along with Council. Michael Ford, the tight end, good receivers. Coulter, watch him, and Timothy Knox. And Damar Hudgens at the quarterback spot. He is just a sophomore, so a pair of sophomore quarterbacks squaring off here tonight. Howard with the possession. They take over at the 9:52 mark of the first quarter. First down, 10 yards to go. And we'll have it at the McMinn Central 47-yard line. Hudgens hands it off tailback with some running room right up the middle and moves into McMinn Central territory on the first offensive play of the game. Freshman, that's right, freshman Rico Council, the ball carrier, picked up about 4 yards and moved into Charger territory at the 49-yard line. Second down, about 6 yards to go. There's the McMinn defense. Phasic very good, so is Barnett at that linebacker spot is very, very solid. Moses, Cooley, Jackson, and Freeman in the defensive secondary. Second down, and quickly a flag.
Got a flag. Could be delay of game, Jim.
I was going to say, it seemed like it took a long time to approach the line of scrimmage. Howard, as we mentioned, 0-7. Just one game remaining. And that will be against McMinn Central. Get my piece. Yeah. Well, you see a lot of folks here on the Howard campus. Like I said, there's only the second game of the year. There you see Coach Coulter. Played at Alabama A&T. And went to the Denver Broncos training camp, and he said, yes, I did get a signing bonus. He said, my son, he wanted to play for me, and he does. My daughters wanted to go to Brainerd instead and get away from me. Some running room. The Tigers with a long run, and there is Maurice Mangum. We talked about him on defense, but don't forget his running ability. That's a 49-yard touchdown run. There's no flags down. Both coaches said getting off to a good start was important. It's Howard that gets off to the good start. Mangum break and a tackle.
Basic stuff here, Jim, to play right up the middle. Maurice stays on his feet, gets some good blocking, and does a lot of it at his own. Howard dominates at the point of attack. Maurice gets into the secondary, lightning speed, and we have a touchdown. 6-0 Tigers with a chance to make it 7.
The drive, 2 plays, 53 yards. Mangum goes 49 yards for the touchdown. And all of a sudden, Dan Williams is saying, oh, no, here we go again. Team speed definitely hurting us. Tigers going for 2. Hudgens rolls out far side. Throws it on the run. Incomplete. So the Tigers will settle for a 6-0 lead. Lightning is struck, and Maurice Mangum is going to be a tough, tough player both sides of the football tonight. At a linebacker spot, he's outstanding. Says, hey, I can play on offense and make those cheerleaders do a push-up or 2. 6-0, Tigers.
It's not just the fact that I don't have established credit. It's because I'm not sure how long I need this furniture or if I even want to keep it. With rent-to-own, I can continue my payment and keep it as long as I want, or take it back. The choice is always mine, and I like that. I can have the quality products I want now with no long-term obligation. For me, it's just better to rent.
Ready? Bring it on. The power to drive all the .coms of the world? Absolutely. Access to all media to knowledge everywhere. What else? Talking bleeding-edge technology at your fingertips. Oh, word. The gold standard in engineering. And here in Tennessee. Can you say duh? So, have we come to the right decision? Definitely. Have we arrived at our final destination? No way. What? No way, dude. It's just the beginning. Oh, yeah. Chattanooga State transforms lives. Transform yours while the openings last.
The drive for the Hustling Tigers, pretty easy to figure out. 53 yards, 2 plays, time of possession 63 seconds. A 49-yard run by Maurice Mangum, and the Tigers quickly on the board.
Jim, just the thing McMinn Central wanted to avoid. The quick score, and they're down 6-0 here. Let's see how they regroup.
Kick it short that time, and it does go out of bounds before I believe it's touched by the Chargers. And so let's see if the Chargers take it right there. Howard will be forced to kick the football again. But a quick strike. Mangum, he broke that one tackle, then busted it out to the outside, and that was all she wrote. And Dan Williams said, speed, that's what speed kills, and it's killed them so far this year, and it has in the first couple moments of this game.
Howard's going to get called for illegal procedure here. It's a first down for McMinn Central. Good field position to start things.
Chargers take over, 8:49 to play first quarter. And again, McMinn Central having to play from behind. Line up in the I formation. Nathan Moses, the quarterback, gives the pitch on the far side.
Wow.
See, they don't know if they can do a whole lot of that. Talking to Dan Williams before the game, he said, you know, we're just not going to outrun people many times and run to the corners. But they tried going between the tackles on an opening possession. Got absolutely nowhere. So now you think, well, let's mix it up a little bit.
Howard's defense is so quick and so active on the sidelines. It's going to be very tough for McMinn Central if their offensive line doesn't execute almost perfectly tonight to do anything east and west.
Now, offensive coordinator Brian Gossett might have his work cut out for him a little bit. Gain of a couple on that first down play. Second down and 8. Second and 8 for the Chargers. Again, an I formation. 2 receivers near side for the young sophomore quarterback. Hand off right up the gut. Again, look at all those maroon jerseys and helmets right by the ball carrier. They like a couple of guys on that offensive line. Kevin Williams is a senior center, and Casey McDonough, the right guard for McMinn Central. He said they're very, very good, so watch them to run behind those two for a good portion of the night. But
Jim, the problem is like we talked about at the opening of the game, youth. They only have 4 seniors on the entire team for the Chargers.
that is incredible when you talk about high school. It's pretty tough when you got to have some senior leadership and just B, some senior body. Some guys have been around the block a little bit. And then Central doesn't have that. Quick pop pass. That was almost a lateral. Melvin Jackson is the one, and he does not have enough for the first down, I don't believe. Yeah, short of the first down. Had to get to near midfield. Had to get to the 49-yard line and held short. Look at this. Well, if he didn't catch this, this would have been...
It would have been a lateral. That's a well-executed play, Jim. Look how quickly Howard closes on that. You have 4 people within 3 yards of the receiver when he catches the football. That is team speed.
And so the Chargers will be forced to put it away once again. So 2 series for McMinn Central, and both of them have been 1, 2, 3 and out. High snap. Howard again with great penetration, and again they come within an eyelash of blocking that punt. Takes a McMinn Central roll, and so Howard will begin on the 27-yard line. 2 separate times they came within a whisker of blocking that kick.
Jim, we're getting a textbook lesson in just how important it is to have a good long snapper. McMinn Central is just kind of floating the ball back there to their punter, and they've been very lucky if those 2 punts weren't blocked.
So the Tigers begin on their own 27-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Tigers with a 6-0 lead. Their first possession, they only had the ball 2 plays, but one of them was a 49-yard touchdown run by Maurice Mangum. Tigers have to take a timeout. There's a little bit of confusion. Rico Council was out there at a fullback spot. I think they were looking for another running back, and just took a second to get all the personnel on the field, so forced to take a timeout right here. Really enjoyed earlier this week talking to the head coach of the Tigers, Herman Coulter, his 12th year. He was at Hardy Elementary before he came here, 35 and 69 overall. He doesn't have a whole lot of players returning either, just 4 on offense and 3 on defense. 0-7 on the year. They were very, very close at Hickson. 2 or 3 plays really cost them a game. Have had some opportunities. Tough way to start off the year when you're playing Boyd Buchanan. We know how good that Buck team is, and that's how Howard had to start their season. He said that put us behind the 8 ball a little bit. He said, but we're learning every week. But the schedule they played, we know that Walker Valley is good. Austin East out of Knoxville, we've seen them. They're very good. Grundy County has a player that everyone wants. They were right in that Hickson game right until the end, and then a couple of tough plays at the end of the game, and then Lincoln County is a powerhouse in the state, and they have been for many, many years. Now we're ready to go. You see DeMar Hudgens, sophomore quarterback.
And, Jim, they're going to start this play with trips at the top of the screen.
Hudgens goes under center, quick pop pass, and
that's a live football.
I think you're right. And some running room. That turns out to be a long pitch because it was indeed lateral. When you see the officials not blowing the whistle, watch this.
Let's take a look at this, Jim. DeMar throws the ball a little bit too low. His receiver can't hold on to it, and that's a free football right there.
Michael Ford is just Johnny on the spot. He's aware of what's going on. He's just a freshman tight end, but was smart enough to understand, hey, that's a live football. I better cover that thing up, and the result, a first down for Howard at the 40-yard line. So a 13-yard pickup.
By accident, almost.
Absolutely by accident. Make no mistake about it, by accident. 6-0 lead for the Tigers right now. They'll go with a staggered I formation. Mangum right now, the fullback in the I. Hudgens under center, pitch sweep near side. This is Council trying to turn the corner, cuts it in a little bit. And a good job by McMinn stringing it out. Just a pickup of 1 yard. And again, Howard knows they have the speed advantage, trying to beat him to the corner. Let's watch this freshman running back, number 34, Rico Council.
See, Rico just stutter steps just a bit, and that allows the McMinn Central defense to close. But boy, I tell you what, you get the feeling here Jim McMinn is playing just as hard as they can, and you almost feel like every play Howard runs, they're about to break for a big gainer.
Saw Jonathan Cook a moment ago. There's Hudgens at quarterback on a 2nd down and 9. Howard with the lead early in the game. They have a down 2nd and 9. Chargers stack up the line of scrimmage. Pitch sweep near side. They're going to run the reverse.
Uh-oh, showtime.
Lance Coulter, can he turn the corner? Still trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and all that for, I think they're back to the original line of scrimmage on this series, which was the 40-yard line.
Outstanding defense by McMinn Central on this play. It takes discipline not to bite on this reverse. Howard tried to use their speed and use McMinn's over-aggressiveness against them. Here's the pitch to Lance Coulter. He gets pursued by the McMinn defense, forces him a little bit backwards. DJ Underwood with a nice play there.
And Kevin Williams is
Kevin Williams to shut it down. Outstanding play for the Charger defense.
Loss of 1, so it's 3rd down and 10 back at the 40-yard line. Not fooled by the reverse, but I like that play call when people are really trying to pursue like the Chargers were. Keep honest by running a play like that. Hudgens on 3rd down and 10. Wants to throw, one-on-one coverage, goes to near side. Coulter, incomplete. Good job both sides that time. That was Nathan Moses, of course, who's the quarterback. He's got 4 interceptions this year. One-on-one coverage with Lance Coulter, one of the best receivers in the area.
Nathan almost had 5 because Howard just hangs his football up there, throws it up for grabs. So look at the speed by Coulter to close on it. Nathan Moses actually had the position. Good play defensively by the Howard offense.
And DeMar Hudgens, who is the quarterback, he's the punter as well. And Howard on their 2nd possession, forced to punt it away. 4:01 to play first quarter. Tigers with a 6-0 lead on a Maurice Mangum. He's going to throw. They're going for it on 4th down. And there they got it. When you have your quarterback as the punter, big things can sometimes happen, and that's exactly what happened that time. Fake punt for a first down.
DeMar Hudgens spots Eric Ray wide open on the fake here, throws an outstanding pass from the punting formation, and this is a fake all the way, folks. Floats it up, and Eric Ray is there, holds on to it. Little spin here, almost broke that big. As it is, it's a first down for the Hustling Tigers.
So first and 10 for the Tigers. A little trickery in the early going here.
Good job, number 30.
We'll bring it all the way down to the 35-yard line where the Tigers have it. First down, 10 yards to go. They line up in the I formation. Council, the tailback in the I. Hand off fullback, right up the gut. And a little running room.
You know, Jim, back to that fake. If you're watching the game, you may think, boy, why do that so early in the game? Heck, why not? You got to get your first win of the season. You're staring down the barrel of a potential playoff shot if you can reel off 2 wins to end the season. Why not just use all the bullets in your gun tonight?
Akeem Townsend, the ball carrier, brings it inside the 30 to about the 27 or 28-yard line. That's a good about 7 or 8 yard pickup. Blast right up the middle. Second and a couple for the Tigers, already with a 6-0 lead, and sometimes you go for the jugular early on. Quick trap up the middle. There they go again. Mangum will have his second TD of the night. Wow. They fire that gun every time they score some touchdowns. We were warned about that. They said, now don't get too excited.
It looks like that gun may get a workout tonight.
I was going to say, I hope they have a lot of bullets in the gun. Maurice Mangum says it's showtime. I'm on TV tonight. His second score of the night, but he comes up hobbling. Look at that.
Boy, you don't want to see that if you're Howard.
Absolutely. You talk about one guy that they really can't afford to lose, it would be Maurice Mangum. All he's got is 2 touchdowns tonight.
And we've already seen what a difference maker he is offensively, and he also does such a great job defensively as well.
I was going to say, they say he's a better defensive player than offensive player. Pass with the 2-point conversion. There is a penalty,
but there's a flag down.
Might be a holding call. They went to the tight end, Michael Ford. It looks like there's going to be a holding call against the Huffman Tigers, so they might have to go for that 2-point conversion once again. 2:44 to play first quarter. Howard at the moment with 12 points on the board. We're going to see if it is indeed Maurice Mangum, the player that was hurt, for Howard, and what his status is. They're working on him on the sideline right now.
They are going to call illegal procedure on Howard on that play, Jim.
So take the 2 points off the board, at least for the moment. Let's see what Howard does, if they continue to go for 2 or try to kick it in the situation right here. Herman Coulter gets a word or 2 of encouragement from his quarterback. I'll tell you what, the attention's going to turn to that sideline in just a moment. They'll take a look at the junior linebacker / running back who scored both Howard touchdowns so far tonight. Huggins rolls out near side, has the option to run or throw, fires it. Again, hits the tight end Michael Ford, and Ford is denied the 2-point conversion.
Good defense here by the Chargers, but I think the most important thing is going on that sideline right now, Jim.
2:36 to play in the first quarter. Howard with a 12-0 lead in our McDonald's game of the week.
Hales Power Sports, your home for Arctic Cat ATVs. Arctic Cat built the roughest, toughest, and most versatile ATV, and they can prove it. Stop by Hales Power Sports and check out the complete line. And now, take advantage of these sweet deals. Get a 2-year extended warranty plus 3.9% financing for 48 months, or no payments, no interest, and no money down for 6 months. Plus, check out our new Thomas mopeds. Hales Power Sports, your authorized Thomas dealer, has units starting at just $10.95. Hales Power Sports, 1759 Lafayette Road in Rossville.
Experienced, dedicated, and proven. At ECPC, these words not only speak of our students, but also the reputation of our school. For over 34 years, we've been building futures in great career paths like medical administration. Here you'll learn and work in practical hands-on classes that prepare you for a rewarding profession in the world of healthcare. Call today and talk with the area's proven educational leader, ECPC, where experience is the best teacher.
Touchdown so far tonight, but came up very, very lame the last time around, and still being worked on. They are retaping his ankle on the sideline, as you can see right there. And I can say one thing. I went to the Howard campus earlier this week. They were very, very excited about being on television on Friday night. I can say that.
Just added a little extra spice to a special homecoming night.
And look at
that does not look good, Jim.
Maurice Mangum trying to walk it off a little bit right now. That's not an easy thing. They always say you just tape it a little bit tighter. It's easier said than done when your foot's turning blue.
I was going to say it's easy for those folks that don't have the hurt ankle to say that.
Short kick takes a bounce, will be returned up to near the 30. spun around at around the 33, 34, maybe up to the 35-yard line. So McMinn Central will begin in decent field position. You really get the feeling that last week they had a winnable game. McMinn Central comes into the game 1-6. Played Union County last week, a team that was on a 2-year losing streak. And they kind of thought, yeah, we've struggled. We beat Union County. We could come to Howard. They're 0-7. We could finish out strong. They have Lookout Valley next week. So they were really thinking, you know what? We could conceivably go on like a 3-game winning streak here at the end of the season. But when they lost last week, you just got the feeling that it took a lot of the wind out of the sails. Pitch on the far side and not a good one. Trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a loss of a yard.
Jim, Darius McDonald and company just violent at the line of scrimmage. They are going to shut down this play. They take out the quarterback, and then look at this. Wham. Pow.
And McDonald, that big right tackle, he's just a sophomore. And then you get Alexis Lewis in there. That's a pretty good combination.
You know, Jim, back to your earlier point about maybe McMinn having a little bit of a hangover from last week. Dan Williams told us before the game his team just needs a little encouragement. They need some enthusiasm. They need some good things to happen to them early.
Here's what I know. They're not going to get a lot of sympathy from Howard this week. Howard hasn't won a game yet. Nathan Moses in trouble. And he goes down. They say the arm was indeed moving forward.
You know, we talked about Howard not having won a game yet this year, but I'll tell you what, when you look at their defensive line, it's hard to believe. They are shutting McMinn Central down.
2 or 3 players have really excelled so far this year. Mangum, obviously, but take a look at some of their players. Lance Coulter, both on offense and defense, has been outstanding. You see those guys on the defensive line. I'll take McDonald and Lewis and Ford and Wood, that front 4. They haven't given up much.
That's a load to deal with.
And here you got a 3rd and long. And again, here comes the rush, and there goes McMinn Central once again. Nathan Moses just had no time. So for the 3rd straight possession for the Chargers, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 and out.
I mean, Jim, look at Nathan Moses. He just can barely even get his feet under him before he is just under attack from that Tiger defense.
Good job by Howard.
And now your question is, you know, your kicking game comes into focus again. They need to get the ball back to the punter so they can get a decent kick off.
Howard easily could have had 2 blocks. Again, good block right at the end. Wow. I think tackler and ball arrived exactly at the same time.
I'll tell you what, that was a great catch and a great tackle.
Take a look at this one again.
Check this out. Wham. Good play by McMinn to reel that thing in.
And just being fortunate to hang out of the football in that situation.
Lance Coulter with some good hands on that play.
Absolutely. He really is a good receiver. And the Tigers, 2 out of 2. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns so far tonight. And aided on that last possession by a fake punt. They were able to convert for a 1st down.
And honestly, Jim, I don't know if they need to throw the football that much, to be honest with you. With the way their speed is compared to McMinn's, they might just keep it on the ground.
Hudgens, a quarterback, just a sophomore, with an I formation in back of him. And off tailback, and there's more running room for Rico Council. Rico Council, the ball carrier. Boy, you got to like some of the athletes on this Howard team. I mean, you do have to kind of scratch your head. I know they played an awfully tough schedule. We mentioned Lincoln, you know, some of their non-region games, you know, Lincoln County awfully good, Grundy County awfully good. They play Austin East, a traditional rival, and as we said, began the season against Boyd Buchanan. Yes, those are very good teams.
Jim, Maurice Mangan is still on the sidelines. Now they're taking the tape off his ankle. Probably going to retape it again. I don't know if we're going to see him back in action.
Fumble. And the Chargers say they have it. That would be a shame for Chattanooga not to see Maurice Mangum, other than, well, he already kind of has made his name tonight with a couple of touchdown runs.
Jim, we're wondering why Howard hasn't won a football game. Well, this is one reason why. The great equalizer, turnovers. That time, just never got the ball tucked in. As a result, the Chargers take over in good field position. And there you see Maurice Banger.
You know, he wants to play tonight. First and 10, so the Chargers with their first break of the game, and they'll take over on their own 42-yard line. If this is a running play, it'll probably be the final play of the first quarter, as the Chargers will go from the shotgun right here. Option, some running room. Chargers looking for their first down of the night.
Jim, that is probably McMinn's best offensive play of the night, and I like that. When you spread the field like that, you don't necessarily have to throw.
So the first quarter comes to an end, and Dan Williams trying to figure out how to hang on to the football and keep it for a possession or two. 12-0, Hustling Tigers with the lead.
Get to Preble Kia. Save thousands when you buy your brand new Kia. Like a new Kia Rio, priced over $4,100 less than Corolla, over $4,200 less than Civic. Or a new Optima, priced nearly $3,300 less than Accord, over $5,600 less than Camry. Plus, make every mile count with Kia's exclusive 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Get to Tennessee's #1 Kia dealer. Save thousands. Preble Kia, 153 Shallowford Road, Chattanooga.
Come on, take the money and drive.
Don't be that other guy. Join Powerhouse Gym now and receive 1 year free. Their professional staff will monitor and guide you to your very best personal fitness. Experience state-of-the-art equipment, aerobics, tanning, and more. Go by today and check out Powerhouse Gym in Fort Oglethorpe, Lee Highway, Hitson, Tulsa, or Cleveland. Join now, receive 1 year free. Whatever your age or fitness level, don't wait. Visit one of Powerhouse Gym's 5 locations today.
12-0 lead for the homecoming celebrated Howard Hustling Tigers. They had streets blocked off, a big parade before the game. A lot of folks have indeed come home to Howard High School. If you drive by here, you can see all the construction going on. $17 million worth of improvements here at Howard. You know, there was talk about moving this high school, just building a new high school. The folks here, a lot of the alums said, no, there's so much tradition around this area. They said Howard High School is the focal point of this community, and we don't want the high school to leave even for a block or two. So I said, okay, we'll refurbish it. And I was walking around the halls today, and there's still a lot of hard hats going on. There was no school in Hamilton County this week, but you can see some of that construction going on. And McMinn Central's going to take a timeout to talk about it a little bit. So the Chargers with a third down situation. They didn't give them that third down situation for the Chargers, looking for their first down of the night. 12-0 lead. And again, we're trying to see if Maurice Banger is going to re-enter the game. 12-0 lead. And McMinn Central trying to figure out how to move the football.
If I don't get pregnant as a teenager, there's no guarantee that I'll grow up to cure cancer. Write the great American novel, run my own company, have the world at my feet. If I wait to have sex, there's no guarantee I'll become the first black president, woman of the year, girl of your dreams. There's no guarantee my name will be in life. I'll dance on the moon, be whatever I want to be. But if I give myself the chance, the time, the future, you never know. You never know. You never know.
Reese, Mel, J-Lo. Just another day with the Stars Super PAC. The Stars Super PAC has hundreds of different movies every month. And every Saturday, new hits premiere on Stars first before any other channel. No matter what day, count on the Stars Super PAC to deliver movies. Order today.
Get 3 months of Stars for only $5 a month. Call 1-800-COMCAST today.
Celebrating homecoming, 12-0 lead, and McMinn Central trying to get something going here.
Key play here from McMinn, Jim. They need to convert this into a first down. They need some points on the board.
Well, they need some confidence, and that's been their story all season long. 4 seniors. When things go wrong early, it just magnifies everything.
And one reason why things have gone wrong, mistakes just like that, that's going to be an offsides on the Chargers. They're going to make it a little tougher on themselves.
They have some elements of the football team playing without their #1 place kicker. He was their #1 offensive weapon, hadn't missed a field goal or an extra point this year. But not playing in tonight's game for violation of team rules. Coach Dan Williams said, hey, Discipline is first and foremost, and so they're without a key element in their offense. And third down became a little bit tougher right here for the Tigers, for the Chargers, I should say. Here they come. Nathan Moses. He took a hit or two.
Ball loose.
Ball came up. They're saying he is down. Nathan Moses, sophomore quarterback, down by contact. Howard is ready to get some points on defense.
But Jim, you could see there that play just never got a chance to develop because of the Howard's ferocious pass rush. Watch this here. Nathan, 5-step drop. He's already in trouble and he's scrambling for his life right here. And Howard has just got too many big guys in maroon jerseys for McMinn Central to handle.
Sometimes when you cut against the grain, it turns out to be a great move. That's when you cut against the grain and all of a sudden you see 3 of those jerseys coming at you. Good push again. Not a great kick, although it's going to take a Charger roll a little bit. And McMinn Central will down it around the 26, 27-yard line. So McMinn Central still looking for that coveted first down of the night. They've had 4 possessions. All 4 have been 1, 2, 3 and out. And that has really been one of the stories for McMinn Central. They've just had problems moving the football all year long. They had one game a couple of weeks ago where they had less than 100 yards of total offense.
It's not for lack of effort, Jim. They're just a little bit undersized and underexperienced. I think Coach Dan Williams kind of summed it up. When you have sophomores playing key positions, they're either going to look like a grass cutter or an All-American, and that varies from play to play.
He's very quotable, isn't he?
He really is.
10:37 to play until halftime.
Flag down.
Penalty flag goes down, but again, some running room.
That's Eric Ray on that carry, and Eric was a part of that fake punt, which has really kind of ignited the Tigers' offense. We'll see what the call is here. Could be a hold. It is. So that on Howard, it's all going to come back.
I was going to say a nice run by Eric Ray again. Howard just doesn't go down at one tackle, do they? They bounced off, and they'll take it outside on you in a heartbeat.
Coach Coulter trying to just settle his young quarterback and settle his team down. Let's watch this. Eric gets nailed at the point of attack, but stays on his feet, and there's the hold right there because that flag is flying. There was no doubt about that one, at least from the officials' perspective, and that puts the Tigers way back. 1st and 20 now from their own 26.
And Maurice Mangum, unfortunately, sitting down really right in front of us. And I'm like you, they may not need him, although it's obviously early in the game, to early in the second quarter anyway. And Howard already with a 2-touchdown lead, but number 23, who I was really looking forward to watching play tonight.
May not need him, and I doubt you're going to see him again this evening.
Huggins rolls out near side, puts it up in the air to his young tight end, Michael Ford. Not a lot of yards that time for the hustling Tigers.
Well-executed play there, just not enough separation down the field for that play to gain a lot of big yardage, but Hutchins threw a decent pass, and Ford reeled it in. 4-yard gain.
Mangum, that linebacker, 2 touchdown runs already tonight, but on the second touchdown run,
injured what looks to be his right ankle, and I'll tell you what, Jim, he looks to be in. He's got ice on it, looks to be in some pain.
He barely played 1 quarter and has about 75 yards on a couple of carries on the ground. That's not bad. Running room. Howard had one man going this way, then went back the other way, trying to pick up some good yards.
That's the second time they've tried to get Lance Coulter loose on a reverse. Let's check this out again. And again, McMinn Central plays just a good, disciplined base defense, and they close on this play pretty well. A decent gain for Howard, but I'll tell you what, it could have been a whole lot more had McMinn over-pursued.
McMinn Central certainly does. They do some good things. I mean, you could tell they're fundamentally sound. You get some of those younger players on the Chargers team in the weight room for a couple of years, and they're going to be reckoned with a little bit in 3-3A.
And actually, Jim, that was a gain of maybe a yard, so 3rd and 16 now for the Tigers. That's 2 timeouts now they've already used, Jim, and I know it's 9 minutes and change left in the half, but I'll tell you what, you got to wonder if that may come back to bite the Tigers, and Coach Coulter is none too happy with his offense. He is getting some attention.
I was going to say, he's got a little coming home meeting right there going on for the Hustling Tigers, although they have a 12-0 lead over McMinn Central here at Howard High School.
Are you still looking for humongous bargains on furniture? Then have we got some deals for you. How about bedroom suits starting at only $299? Or dining room suits for as little as $99? Living room suits as low as $100? And odds and ends we're just about giving away. You won't believe the bargains you will find at the Eccles Warehouse Sale, located 1 block north of the main showroom on Dayton Boulevard.
Truck and Trailer USA, your tri-state truck accessory leader.
Our McDonald's High School football game of the week. Young crowd here at Howard High School.
We got some cute folks watching the game tonight. Good-looking homecoming king and queen for the Howard Elementary School.
Absolutely. Setting up the screen. That'll be complete to Michael Ford.
Look at this.
And the question is, does he have the first down? I think he's going to be short. He had to get to about the 37-yard line to pick up the first down.
Jim, DeMar Hutchins didn't do him any favors by just kind of lollipopping that football there. Had he thrown it on a little bit more of a line, Mr. Ford could have gotten a little bit more of a head of steam, and that may have led to some more yardage. As a result, though, it is 4th down for the Tigers.
It will be 4th down. They went for it on 4th down earlier, utilizing a fake punt. Howard with a 12-0 lead, 9:09 to play second quarter. Our McDonald's High School football game of the week here on Comcast. Single setback for Huggins, hands it off to the fullback straight ahead, trying to lean in and get that extra yard or two.
That was Akeem Townsend, and he got probably, yes sir, just enough for the first down.
That's second effort. That's hopping a little bit. Look at Townsend. Talk about second effort. I need that first down. Need that first down.
And as you can see on that play, the Tigers got away with a little bit of a hold there, so I think it's going well for Coach Coulter's bunch right now.
Howard brings it up to the 39-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. You know, they lose one of their key players in Magaman. They haven't missed a beat, have they?
They sure haven't. They really haven't.
Eric Gray came in. Townsend came in.
Well, they've thrown the football a little bit more, and they've been effective doing it.
Little pop pass. Complete to Coulter on the near sideline. And brings it up to about the 46, 47-yard line.
That's a decent gain, Jim, but you can certainly see McMinn Central's defense has decided number 2 is not going to beat us. We are going to be all over him. We're going to know where he is at all times. Lance Coulter, explosive at times. He's really going to have to earn it tonight because the Chargers are keying on him.
About a 7-yard pickup on first down. Second down, 3 yards to go. Really a long 3. Trips to the near side. You see the 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Hand off right up the gut once again. There's Townsend. And so Townsend gets close. I don't think he has the first down. No, has to get to right at midfield, I think, to pick that first down for the Tigers, so they still have a ways to go. 3rd and a couple for Howard right here. Just utilizing that ground game, and you can see that's the most effective part of their offense.
Well, they ran effectively wide. They've thrown the ball decently wide, and they've been kind of like a sledgehammer right up the gut. They've got at least 3 options offensively right now.
Hutchins just doesn't look like his arm can really help him go vertically. Pretty good east and west when they try to free up someone on a little screen pass. I'm not sure if he could really stretch that defense. We'll have to see. But he's darn good at that.
Sure
right at the football. I thought he had about a face mask, but apparently not.
He just had a handful of shoulder pads. That's a pretty heck of a play there by Matt Fasig for the Chargers, because Hutchins had a full head of steam here and not many folks to beat. And watch Fasek just run in there and just hang on to a shoulder pad and jersey. Good tackle.
I was going to say, he's a good linebacker. They really like him. And that's not your TV, by the way. There is a little fog on the field right now.
It's not Halloween yet, but we certainly get that vibe tonight.
Absolutely. It will be 4th down, I believe, for the Tigers. I don't believe they have enough for the first down, although they're measuring on that far sideline. And it is 4th down and very, very short. Looks like about 4th and the length of the football.
Man, how about that, Jim?
Getting close to Halloween here. Who was it? The Chicago Bears and Philadelphia Eagles that played in the famous Fog Bowl.
It's a little chilly here, folks, but you can see Coach Coulter trying to set a good example for his team.
That's right.
With a short sleeve on.
He's going to gut it out here tonight. Really enjoyed talking to him this week, and he was one of those that says all the construction going on here, that boy, this is going to be a great place in a couple of years. They're really doing a nice job to spruce up Howard School for Academics and Technology. They told me it's okay either way. Howard High School is okay. Howard High School.
Got a flag on this one.
Some movement in that line a little bit. Howard might have been so anxious to get that push. Yeah, there was movement on the offensive line for the Tigers. And so now a 4th and about a foot will become 4th and 5 yards and about a foot.
So what do you do here, Jim? You're physically dominating McMinn Central at the point of attack. Do you still go forward on 4th and 6, or do you kick and turn it over to your defense?
I think Howard's going to kick right here, and you've got things going your way, and you know how hard it is for McMinn Central to score points. McMinn Central came to this game averaging 9.2 points per game, so I'm going to make them travel on a long field. I'm not going to give them any momentum builder, any chance to score an easy touchdown.
Jim, as the clock's ticking, Howard needs one more player to get on the field to have 11. They just get it done. No, they don't. They're going to be called for a penalty, it looks like.
I was going to say the delay of game, that probably will not be a big factor right here. Again, they only had 10 on the field, rushed one player in late, but apparently too late. And so on the delay of game penalty, move it back 5 yards. Yeah, McMinn Central, you could kind of understand watching them play a little bit. They have just struggled on offense to get things going, just having a hard time, really don't have a whole lot of team speed. Their first-string quarterback, Kerry Boltman, who was really supposed to be one of the stars of the team, injures his ankle in the summer and was hobbled by that all year long and had some shoulder problems. Nice punt that's going to take a Howard roll as well. And I think that's the good calculated move. Make McMinn Central go 80 yards.
Sure.
And they haven't been able to do that many times this year.
Jim, just kind of referring back to what Coach Williams was talking about with his quarterback situation, you know, the easy thing would have been to kind of see what you could get out of the young man because of his talent, but Coach Williams made the gutsy decision to just shut it down for the year with their quarterback, let him get healthy, and think about his career long-term instead of a short-term fix for his football team.
Yeah, Corey Boltman is really a good quarterback, and they said he had ankle problems, shoulder problems, wasn't as mobile as he was. He said he's almost a sitting duck back there.
And, you know, Jim, 1 week this season, despite the bad shoulder, he was the 3A player of the week for the entire state.
But they also like Nathan Moses, the sophomore quarterback, but boy, when you got sophomores in there at a quarterback spot, it makes it tough. Gain of a couple on that first play.
You know, the positive in all this, though, Jim, is if McMinn can kind of hang on and load up a little bit over the next 2 years or so, they should, by the time these young men are seniors, they should have a pretty stout football team. Dan Williams, one of the nicest guys, very interesting, good guy to talk to.
I was going to say, very quotable.
Very quotable.
He might be #1 on our quotable list so far.
So far.
And you folks in Ottawa recognize Dan Williams. He was the head coach of that Owl football program for many, many years in the 90s. From the shotgun, tip, quick pop pass, incomplete. So I think McMinn Central just looking for something to hang their hat on right now. They've tried just about everything.
Watch this, Jim. Quick step, quick drop. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. But I'll tell you what, I like this play. They seem a little bit crisper when they throw the ball out of the spread formation, and it they get a chance to dictate the play before Howard's sizable defensive line can break things up.
Tried to hit Mikey Price that time, unable to do so, and so here you have a third down situation once again. McMinn Central, as we said, they don't have a first down yet tonight. Try the pitch sweep to the near side. There's a little bit of running room that time in front of the ball carrier. Matt Jackson, the ball carrier, tried to turn a corner near side. And again, a little bit short. It's fourth down once again. So let's see if McMinn Central, they're not a gambling team, are they?
Well, you just can't be in this situation. They have got to kick the football and once again turn it over to their defense. First and foremost, get the kick off. Secondly, don't let number 2 for Howard do any damage.
Price will put
Bad
it away.
Snap.
Bad snap again. He probably had less pressure than any time tonight. Hustlin' Tigers wisely get away from it as it takes a Howard roll anyway. So the Hustlin' Tigers will come out in great field position beginning in McMinn Central territory at the 43-yard line. Hustlin' Tigers up by 12.
Welcome. We have been expecting you.
The Carpet Center of East Ridge has it all, and we're located right around the corner. Quality. Our materials are top quality with your satisfaction in mind. Selection. We have a wide selection of name brand flooring that is sure to fit your design and budget. Experience. Our staff has the know-how and over 30 years of experience in the carpet business. Location. Only 10 minutes from anywhere in Chattanooga. Come see why the short drive to Carpet Center of East Ridge is the only drive you'll need to take.
Celebrating homecoming here in Howard, and the Tigers so far enjoying it a lot more than the folks at McMinn Central with a 12-0 lead. But those points came when their star player Maurice Mangum was in the game. Mangum scoring both of those touchdowns for the Tigers since he left with an ankle injury. No points on the board, but a great opportunity for the Tigers right now as they have it in McMinn Central territory inside the 43-yard line. High snap from the gun. Setting up the screen. No, good penetration that time by McMinn Central, and Hutchins can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Loses a couple of yards back to the 45-yard line. Will be second down and 12.
Hutchins trying to make something happen here, Jim, but then he makes a good decision here to just tuck it and run. Don't force anything. You're up 12-0. Chew up the clock. Move on. Casey McDonough with a nice play there for McMinn Central.
Really good pursuit by him, and what they want to do is contain the speed and not let Howard get to the outside. So you may see them coming from the outside a little bit more to try and keep Howard in the middle of the field where they feel they'll have some help. And Howard's going to be forced to use another timeout.
That's the third timeout now, so they're not going to take any into the locker room, that's for sure. And Coach Coulter not happy with his team's offensive execution. And honestly, Jim, since number 23 stayed on the sideline with an ankle injury, their offense has been entirely different.
They put some other good running backs in there. Rico Council is good, and Eric Ray and Akeem Townsend have all come in there. But I don't know if they have the star quality of a Maurice Mangum, the outstanding linebacker for Howard, but a great running back with 2 touchdowns. His 2 scores tonight in the early going. His first touchdown, 49 yards. His second touchdown, 25 yards. So bang, bang, he had about 75 yards of total offense, and he went out of the game at the 2:44 mark of the first quarter. So he had about 75 yards in that first quarter of play, and that is a very, very efficient 12 minutes of high school football.
Coach Coulter not happy with the way his team has functioned offensively. A little bit inconsistent here, a little bit sporadic with some holding calls, and it looks like he's getting on his quarterback pretty good there. And the Tigers, maybe those 2 scores came so easy, kind of lulled themselves into a false sense of security. Coach Coulter's trying to wake them up.
I was going to say, they did some big things on offense to start the game, but their defense just looked so steady. Still haven't given up a McMinn Central first down. Good pursuit by the Howard defense, and I think they've done a good job. But originally, you just kind of thought they'd be able to run up down the field the way the first quarter was. That has changed a little bit, but now their defenses look so good. Second down and 12 right here for the Hustling Tigers in Charger territory. Hudgens again being chased. Good pursuit. Penalty flag goes down and brought down from behind.
You think that's a hold, Jim, but I'm just not sure.
McDonough was the one that originally chased him. And then you got some help in the middle of the field by Jonas Stewart. Stewart is the one that eventually brought him down, and you saw the penalty marker go in that play. Good pursuit by the Chargers, and it is indeed a holding call.
It is going to be a hold.
That's one of those. Hudgens was looking for a receiver, but wow, good pursuit on the part of the Charger defense.
So once again, Howard, without Mr. Mangan in the backfield, is heading backwards.
Started on the 43, lost 2 yards on the opening play, back to the 45-yard line. And now, with this penalty, that'll shove him back even more. Under 4 minutes to play first half, a 12-0 lead for the Hustling Tigers. And as we alluded to, Maurice Mangum has both of those touchdowns. They missed the conversion each time. And now this thing started so good for Howard, starting on the 43. Now they're back in their own territory, back on about their own 43. Hudgens wants to throw, looks one-on-one for Coulter, and it is incomplete. Make that the tight end, Michael Ford. That is tougher than it looks to catch that one over your shoulder. Your tendency is not to put your arms out far enough. And Michael Ford, just a freshman tight end, that might be the best pass that DeMar Hudgens has thrown tonight.
I think so, Jim. And, you know, really this fog is probably a lot more distracting on the field than it is up here. Let's take a look at this. And you're looking at the lights, a little foggy. And as you said, it's very difficult to catch this over your shoulder. Now, he did hit him in the hands, but it's hard to get the right depth perception there.
He had his man beat. Nathan Moses was trying to close that ground. It looked like the pass was going to be right there. And so Howard had a good opportunity. They'll be forced to punt it away. It's blocked. It is blocked. And it skitters into Charger territory. But McMinn Central will still begin in very, very good field position on around their own 48-yard line.
Let's take a look at this.
In the fog.
Good pressure from the outside by McMinn Central. And they came up with a good block there. Matt Fasik, he's made a couple of good plays defensively, that time on special teams. Best play of the night so far for McMinn. They're in good field position here.
I was going to say, that may be the little bit of boost that McMinn needed. They have struggled on offense all night, but here they come out with very, very good field position. Moses looked like he wanted to throw and then couldn't find anyone to throw to, and then they closed quickly and dropped him.
I don't know if that was a busted play or Howard did such a great job defensively that it just shut it down, but watch this. Nathan Moses fakes it and it says, uh-oh.
It's a play-action play, and once he faked it, he looked to throw to someone, and Jabari Jennings said absolutely not, dropped the quarterback, and then had a little insult to injury. There was a penalty on the play, and Howard says, our defense played so well, we'll decline the penalty. Second down for the Chargers. Trying to get something going with 2:40, now under 2:40 to play in the first half, and Howard with a 12-0 lead. Second down for the Chargers on their own 46-yard line. Second down at about 10, and now McMinn Central having some problems and saying we don't like the defense that we saw, and McMinn Central calls a timeout with 2:21 left to play. That play clock was running down, and so wisely the quarterback Nathan Moses says, let's take the timeout right here. Enjoying their best field position of the night, but as we said, McMinn Central still looking for that first down of the evening. And they've had a few games like this. where they just simply could not move the football. You can see they have some talented players, but some other guys are very, very young. You know they're going to get better. But Dan Williams, I think a little bit frustrating for him. Talking about rebuilding a program. He said, no, I'm not suicidal yet, but every so often. Every so often.
You know, he also said, Jim, his staff lives, their passion is their kids' success. And I think that's the most difficult thing when you go through a losing situation, a streak like this, when you're trying to build a football program, is the young men who work so hard for you Monday through Thursday need some positive results for all that hard work on Friday night. And it just hasn't always happened for the Chargers.
Chargers have lost 5 straight. He says, I just want to see them enjoy a victory once again. This is supposed to be fun. This is not the kids' job, I mean, but they work awfully hard at it. And he says, I'd like to see them get some reward. Second down and about 11 for the Chargers. Moses wants to throw. Goes long. He's got a receiver. It's overthrown.
Goodness.
That's when you got to put a little bit more air underneath him. That's the guy they really like, Malcolm Jackson, really the biggest playmaker for the Chargers.
Well, Jim, on this, Nathan didn't quite have enough time to hang it up like he wanted to. You see the rush there. He's about to get nailed, and he just flings it up there. And, folks, let me tell you, there is nobody within 7 yards on number 2 on that play. A little bit more air under that ball, and it would have been a touchdown for the Chargers.
Yeah, Malcolm Jackson, he came out of the fog bank, didn't he?
He emerged from the fog.
So it'll be third down and 11 for the Chargers on their own 46-yard line. 2:13 to play first half. Our McDonald's High School football game of the week here on Comcast. Jim Reynolds and Craig Cecil. Week number 8. High school football season in Tennessee, and they try to go straight ahead and do not get much there. Again, you've got to be impressed with that hustling Tiger defense and that interior part of the line. They haven't given an inch all night. Look at the pursuit right here.
I'm going to tell you what, number 52, Darius McDonald, is taking no prisoners tonight. He is bringing it on defense.
And so McMinn Central still without a first down. Had some problems in this part of the game. Price gets it off.
Nearly had it blocked.
I was going to say, I thought I heard it might have had a fingernail on it or whatever. Again, McMinn Central let it roll, and Howard will watch it as well. And so the Hustling Tigers will take over with 1:29 to play in the first half.
Jim, I'll tell you what, on the wardrobe department, maybe at halftime, one of these teams might want to go to some Dayglow Orange because this fog is getting worse by the minute, it appears.
I was going to say, when you see that long shot that we can see from our vantage point up here, it's a little bit thicker. It looks like we're in San Francisco or London or somewhere. But if the players can handle it, by gosh, we can handle it.
We can gut it up.
Absolutely. Minute 29 to play in the half. Howard with the possession and a 12-0 lead. They line up in the eye. Handoff. What a good gang.
Oh, look at McMinn. They got it.
They ripped it free. They had the running back stood up and then ripped the football away.
Now,
the whistle
Jonas Stewart's going to be mad at himself, number 52 from McMinn Central, but I'll tell you what, this is a heck of an effort here. And what a heads-up play. Stood up, now the handle on the football, and just yanks it.
If he would have caught it right there.
Smelling the end zone.
I was going to say, if he would have been able to catch that one after he yanked it free, he could have run a long way.
That was a big play for the Charger defense, Jim. Howard lost some serious yardage on that.
Blew the whistle, and so the Chargers will stay on defense, but they came very, very close. Coming up with a huge play right at the end of the first half. And off to the fullback. Akeem Townsend, the ball carrier again for the Tigers. Howard just, I think, going to run out the clock. Remember, they don't have any timeouts remaining, so they still have a long way to go. So I think Coach Herman Coulter is going to say, you know what, we're 0-7 on the year. How many leads have we had at halftime? I think one. I think they had the lead in the Hickson game. Now they do have one timeout. I thought they had burned all theirs.
I thought they had used every one, too.
I did, too, but do have a timeout remaining, and Herman Coulter said, I'm going to use it right here with 13.8 seconds left. They must just try to throw something up in the air and say, you know what, if it's intercepted, it's pretty much like a punt, and we'll be able to pursue. Maybe we'll get a long play. And I think Tennessee fans could tell you a big play right before the half, a la
the ball game,
a la the Florida game or even the Georgia game, can certainly turn things around. And Howard enjoying a 12-0 lead right now, and boy, you almost feel like if they can get another score and come up with a huge play, McMinn Central will be awfully hard-pressed to overcome 3 scores. And right now, as we're looking right in front of us, we see Maurice Mangum, the outstanding running back and linebacker, and he is still limping. I sincerely doubt we'll see him the remainder of this game. And I think Coach Herman Coulter is hoping they won't need him for the remainder of the game. Aren't you impressed with that number 52, Darius McDonald? He's just a sophomore, and he's made some plays on offense and defense.
He has been physically dominating.
I was going to say. Certainly some players, some pretty darn good players on this Howard football team. And Darius McDonald, just a sophomore, fills out the uniform pretty well. 12-0 lead for the Tigers. They'll go from the gun. So that screen pass, wow, that was dangerous.
Look at that. That's a live ball.
I think it is a live ball.
That's a live ball.
There's just a second and a half, I guess, 1.4 seconds left to play in the half.
But McMinn Central should take over.
Let's take another look at this play.
This is a lateral, first of all.
Right, you are correct.
Now,
he's trying to call a timeout.
That is a fumble. It's not a forward pass.
Look at, he's trying to call a timeout at the end of the play. Makes the reception. Look at, trying to call a timeout, and
he just flings it.
He was trying to call a timeout and couldn't get the official's attention. He was trying to fling it out of bounds to stop the clock and get one more play. That's what he was trying to do.
You know, Jim, that really could have let the clock run out instead of calling the timeout, and that kind of set the stage for all that.
Now Moses tries to make a big play, but instead, ouch. That's a wrestling match right there, and Michael Ford, the tight end on offense, he'll get a takedown on that one right at the end of the half.
And the cannon went off with good reason, folks, because the Hustle and Howard defense extremely physical tonight.
When the Howard defense knows what McMinn Central's going to do, and they pin their ears back, that's a pretty impressive group right there.
It really is.
12-0 lead. The Tigers are up at halftime, and their defense hasn't yielded an inch. 12-0 lead. Tigers on top of the break.
Experienced, dedicated, and proven. At ECPC, these words not only speak of our students, but also the reputation of our school. For over 34 years, we've been building futures in great career paths like medical administration. Here you'll learn and work in practical hands-on classes that prepare you for a rewarding profession in the world of healthcare. Call today and talk with the area's proven educational leader, ECPC, where experience is the best teacher.
I don't know how to get electricity to the 200 workstations that are going into my new office building. I don't know how to supply the power to the lighting, security, and fire systems that will be inside, much less how to program the computers that will operate them. I just know I need it done on time and on budget and by people who know what they're doing.
That's why you should turn to Chattanooga's leading electric company, Lawson Electric. From voice and data to life safety systems, fiber optics, and infrared preventive maintenance. Lawson Electric of Chattanooga, 267-5471.
And welcome back to Howard. We're at halftime of this game between the Howard Hustlin' Tigers and the Chargers of McMinn Central. Joining me, the principal of Howard School for Academics and Technology. I got it right, Barbara Whitehead. First of all, thanks for having us. And homecoming here at Howard's a big deal, isn't it?
Absolutely. We have a lot of schools, a lot of alumni that are coming out tonight. We have former band members who are going to participate tonight. So it is not only homecoming, but it's senior night at Howard. Seniors' last game, last home game.
I was going to say, kind of a tough to have homecoming when you didn't have class this week. A lot of people don't know Hamilton County schools were out this week. There was still a lot of activity going around this building, though, wasn't there?
Oh, absolutely. We have been working all week to prepare for homecoming. Since homecoming was is taking place during our fall break, we did most of the homecoming activities the week before. And what we did today, we had a lot of students and a lot of teachers who came in and worked hard to prepare for the activities for the afternoon.
I was walking around the Howard campus a little bit earlier in the week. I talked to Claude Ramsey today, the Hamilton County mayor, and he's talked about the $17 million that's going into this campus, and it's really going to be nice. I was asking Coach Coulter a little bit earlier, and there's construction going on, and he was trying to work, and I said, how do you get through that? He goes, I look long term. He says, right now it's a little bit tough with the construction, but in the future, I'm sure you can see it in your mind how nice Howard High School is going to be.
Oh, absolutely. They have finished the front hall and the main office suite for the principals and assistant principal and SRO, and it really gave the students an idea of what it's going to look like. We can't hardly wait until the project has been finished. We have long awaited for this, but it's going to be a fantastic project. Everything is going to be new in the building. It's going to be much brighter. The emphasis of technology will take place with all of the computer classes being on the first floor. The encasement of glass with the classrooms, and the showcase, which we're going to do to showcase technology. Everything is going to be great. And, of course, we're getting the new gymnasium.
I would imagine you have to give a lot of credit to your teachers and students and administrators to kind of understand, hey, bear with us a little bit. There's going to be something real special here at Howard.
Oh, absolutely. When you have to work on bare concrete floors and the rooms looking a little drab, our teachers have done a fantastic job by covering things up, doing the construction while they are renovating their classroom. They have been fantastic. The students have been great because we had to close off one floor this year. Last year we had to do a lot of moving. We had to do a lot of moving before school started. You couldn't ask for a better group to work with.
How important is athletics here at Howard? And, of course, you know, we could name the Howard alums that have gone on in sports. Reggie White, obviously the most famous, but Johnny Taylor, a guy I covered at UTC basketball, went on to the NBA. I would imagine that the sports and athletic program, first of all, a great tradition here, but it does kind of get the students more involved in what's going on in the day-to-day routine, doesn't it?
Athletics is a big part of our school. Most students, the alumni are still very active in our activities. It is a rich tradition at Howard. Yes, as you mentioned, Reggie White, Johnny Taylor, they are the big standouts that are Howard graduates, but athletics, the whole community comes together for the athletics.
I was going to say, and there's, city councilmen and county commissioners and people in power that all brag about Howard all the time, right?
And a lot of them may be out here tonight, too.
So we both need to watch our P's and Q's. Absolutely. Homecoming week means what? I mean, kids have to be a little bit excited, and I'm sure there'll be a homecoming court and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yes. The homecoming court, the competition for Miss Homecoming, Miss Sophomore, Miss Junior, Miss Senior, and all of that. It's an exciting time. We have a lot of activities that are going on, Powder Puff game, all of that, and it's just an exciting week.
As a principal of a high school, is graduation day your proudest day?
Every day is my proudest day at Howard. Yes, graduation, it's a tough day for us because it's letting go. You have to let go and say we're moving on. That's a very tough day for us, but I guess every day here, every day is excited here at Howard.
I would imagine when you're in charge, when you see kids learn, when you see that light bulb come on, I imagine when kids come back and say, I got my start here at Howard, and now they're in the community doing good things and raising families, that has to be a good day for a principal as well.
Absolutely. I receive email daily from former students. When our students did well to come off the state high priority list, that was a great day at Howard. Every day, any day, when you see students achieving, that is a great day at Howard High School.
Well, I can imagine. You'll invite us back when we do the ribbon cutting for the brand new Howard, right?
Absolutely. Looking forward to 2005.
Seems like I can't get here quick enough, I'm sure.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Howard High School Principal Barbara Whitehead. We'll be back with more at halftime, the game between the Hustlin' Tigers and the Chargers of McMinn Central. Back with more in just a moment here on Comcast.
I'm loving it. Great moments happen fast. 1 minute you're on top, but how long will it last? I'm loving it. So I'm trying to buy. Me and the lady should give it a test drive. I'm loving it. My thinking's far from average. Shopping carts just like a horse and carriage. I'm loving it. It's the real McCoy. It's the taste I was raised on from a little boy. McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it.
Comcast high-speed internet. Call now for this great offer.
There's a terrible problem that forces women to stand in the heat for hours next to people they don't even know, spending their hard-earned money when they should be at home with their families. Sadly, these women return week after week for the same kind of abuse, but there is a solution. Just say no to laundromats. Stop the madness and rent a top-quality washer and dryer from Southern Home Rentals. Credit's never a problem.
And welcome back to Howard School for Academics and Technology. 12-0 lead for the Hustlin' Tigers as you can see the fog rolling in here at Red Gaston Stadium. And one of the hardest working groups on this Howard campus is the Howard Band, and we're going to enjoy their work for just a moment. Let's enjoy the Howard High School Band. homecoming here at Howard High School. Those shots of the fog, there's no smoke machine, fog machine. That's Mother Nature's fog machine. 12-0 lead. Hustling Tigers with the lead at halftime. Homecoming here at Howard.
You hungry? Hungry now? I think it's time you get on down to Ribbon Loin, don't you?
Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, King of the Apes, father of boys. He knows what it takes to be a dad. You go for a ride, you take a swim, you hang out. All it takes is time. Hey, it doesn't take a hero, but it takes a man to be a dad.
For more information, call First Things First, 423-267-5383.
Truck and Trailer USA, your tri-state truck accessory leader.
Here you can see a good look of the fog situation here at Howard High School as they celebrate homecoming, and take a look at the homecoming court. They're mentioning what these individuals want to do and their college plans and everything. Hope they get everything they want.
Absolutely.
There you see one of our great players in this game, Maurice Mangum. He was hobbled a little bit, but still was able to go out there at halftime. Let's take a look at the first half highlights as Howard has a 12-0 lead over McMinn Central. Here we go.
First of all, Jim, we see Mr. Mangan get loose here. Second play of the game for the Tigers. It results in a 49-yard touchdown run. The Hustling Tigers' two-point conversion is no good. They would grab a 6-0 lead. That drive took just over a minute. How about this one? After a fake punt, number 23 goes 27 yards. That would put the Tigers up 12-0, and that is where we stand right now, Jim. 12-0, Howard over McMinn Central High School.
And as you saw on that run, that's where Mangum injured that ankle. You saw him come down hard on it, twist a little bit, and he hasn't been in the game since. You see the rushing yards, the total yards for McMinn Central, just 27 yards in the first half. No first downs, no yards passing, 27 yards all on the ground.
And Jim, what that says is the Howard Tigers are dominating defensively.
And here's why this game is important tonight. You see, there's only 5 teams in Region 3-3A. The top 4 are going to the playoffs. So Walker Valley is probably in, Grundy County probably in, and then 2 of those 3 teams, Sequoia, McMinn Central, and Howard. 2 of those 3 teams are going to go to the postseason, and Howard can really take a step forward if they can win a game here tonight.
And it looks like they have this one well in hand. They're going to have to win their last 2 games and get a little help from someone else, but they have got, Jim, a great shot of heading to the postseason.
And when I talked to Herman Coulter early in the week, said not only can we make the playoffs, we might end up in 3rd place because they have a chance to beat Sequoia at Sequoia on Halloween night. So Howard could finish the regular season with 2 straight victories tonight against McMinn Central, an open date next week, and then at Sequoia. So they have 2 winnable games and might make that last season push and enter the playoffs.
And about the only thing that's gone wrong for the Tigers tonight, Jim, has been the fog. That's it.
And losing Maurice Mangum.
Absolutely.
Those are two crucial things. But right now, Howard's defense, you got to say how well they played in the first half.
Really dominant on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. But defensively especially, Jim, when you look at those stats, it's not that McMinn Central has been completely inept tonight. It's just that Howard has been so dominant. And when you have a dominant a defensive line, that really makes things difficult for the McMinn Central offense because their quarterback has tried to do some things through the air, Nathan Moses, but rarely has he been able to even take a 5-step drop and set up and look for an open receiver. That offensive line is broken down so many times tonight that they've just been unable to get some things going. However, they did show some signs, Jim, when they went to the 4-wide receiver thing. That gave them more space to actually run the football. We'll see if that continues in the second half.
And I was going to say, for McMinn Central, they probably have to get the football in the hands of Malcolm Jackson a little bit more. He is the guy that's their real playmaker, and that's been what they've been scratching their heads about at McMinn Central. How do we get number 2 the football? We'll see if they can figure it out at halftime. Hustling Tigers with a 12-0 lead, a pair of Mangum touchdowns in the first half. We're at halftime here at Howard. Hustling Tigers enjoying the victory.
It's not just the fact that I don't have established credit. It's because I'm not sure how long I'll need this furniture, or if I even want to keep it. With rent-to-own, I can continue my payments and keep it as long as I want, or take it back. The choice is always mine, and I like that. I can have the quality products I want now with no long-term obligations. For me, it's just better to rent.
Experienced, dedicated, and proven. At ECPC, these words not only speak of our students, but also the reputation of our school. For over 34 years, we've been building futures in great career paths like medical administration. Here you'll learn and work in practical hands-on classes that prepare you for a rewarding profession in the world of healthcare. Call today and talk with the area's proven educational leader, ECPC, where experience is the best teacher.
I don't know how to get electricity to the 200 workstations that are going into my new office building. I don't know how to supply the power to the lighting, security, and fire systems that will be inside, much less how to program the computers that will operate them. I just know I need it done on time and on budget and by people who know what they're doing.
That's why you should turn to Chattanooga's leading electric company, Lawson Electric. From voice and data to life safety systems, fiber optics, and infrared preventive maintenance. Lawson Electric of Chattanooga, 267-5471.
Welcome back to Howard. You see the Hustling Tigers with a 12-0 halftime lead over McMinn Central. This is week number 8 of the regular season in Tennessee. A couple of more games on our McDonald's High School Football Game of the Week at Comcast. Back to East Ridge next week, Red Bank and East Ridge, and we'll have that big shootout in Georgia the final week of the regular season. LFO at Ridgeland. LFO really one of the top teams in the area, and Red Bank and East Ridge both battling to try and get in the playoffs this year.
Should be a good one next week, and LFO certainly looking forward to seeing them at Ridgeland to close out the season on a Halloween night.
I was going to say, a couple of good weeks left, and really that push for the playoffs. Now people are starting to think about and jockey for position a little bit, and that's why the game tonight, as we mentioned a moment ago, is so important. You only have a couple more chances left to grab that final playoff spot or home field advantage or maybe sneak in, and we're saying that's what Howard is trying to do here this evening in their game against McMinn Central. And right now you kind of have to like the Hustling Tigers' chances, not only in this game, but you can really see that as a team they've gotten a lot better. May knock off Sequoia next week and may get that playoff spot and may even get that coveted third place position.
And Jim, if they do and they get Mangan back healthy, you know, they have a realistic shot of winning a playoff game with the talent they have on both sides of the football, especially on the defensive line. That'd be a tough bunch to face week 1 of the postseason.
Howard's the kind of team where you just have to feel like no one really wants to face them in the first round of the playoffs, because when they get it going, when they really get their athletes moving, when they get people like Lance Coulter going and Mangum going and Council and Ray and Townsend, when those guys, when you can see when they kind of get in sync and get in a groove, they can really be dangerous. And they're the kind of team that no one really wants to face in the opening round of the TSSAA playoffs. They continue to announce the homecoming court here at Howard, so they're some proud parents, I would say, some happy classmates as well. I never got to wear the big crown or the big sash. That has to be something special right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're the king, you get to wear the crown. I like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can see the fog rolling in here at Howard, but it hasn't dampened any of the spirits, to be sure. I'll tell you what, one thing that you can tell just by the halftime show, and I hope You were able to enjoy some of the band. They are really proud of the history of this school and what it means to this Howard community.
You said it earlier, Jim. This high school is the focal point of this community. You could see it when we got here earlier today. The parade, the homecoming festivities. Part of the band, folks, is actually the Howard alumni. So you have alumni in with the youngsters in the band, and you see the homecoming king and queen here. It's been a big night for the Tiger faithful.
I was going to say, and in the crowd, we got to see it in front of us. You see people wearing their class of 81 or class of 79 or class of whatever, wearing the jackets, whatever, and shaking hands and hugging and all those kind of things. Really, this community kind of comes together. And as we said, Howard High School is the focal point. The common bond in this neck of the woods, to be sure, is the Hustlin' Tiger program. So many great athletes and so many proud alums have come out of this school. And when they all come back for homecoming, we've been on a lot of high school campuses at homecoming. It's a lot bigger deal here than a lot of other places that we've been.
It really is, Jim. And, you know, so many times in different parts of Chattanooga, you'll see someone wearing a Howard alumni sweatshirt, the letter jacket. They take a lot of pride in their school, not just while they're here, but after they leave as well.
And the great athletic tradition that they have, not only in football, but certainly that basketball program for so many years. Henry Bowles directed them. They get in the state playoffs every year and went to the Final Four in the state time after time after time after time. And any school that can boast a Reggie White and a Johnny Taylor and a Stanford Strickland, and you can go on and on and on and on and on about the great athletes that have gone on to college and some even in the pro ranks from Howard High School. That's another source of pride for this school and this community.
Big night for the homecoming king and queen.
Absolutely. They'll enjoy it a long time. Howard would really like to cap it off with their first football win of the season as well. And right now, the Hustlin' Tigers halfway home. They have a 12-0 lead at halftime.
Come on, take the money and drive. Get to Preble Kia. Save thousands when you buy your brand new Kia. Like a new Kia Rio priced over $4,100 less than Corolla, over $4,200 less than Civic. Or a new Optima priced nearly $3,300 less than Accord, over $5,600 less than Camry. Plus, make every mile count with Kia's exclusive 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Get to Tennessee's #1 Kia dealer. Save thousands. Preble Kia, 153 in Shalford Road, Chattanooga. Come on, take the money and drive. Drive.
I'm loving it. Great moments happen fast. 1 minute you're on top, but how long will it last? I'm loving it. So I'm trying to buy. Me and the lady should give it a test drive. I'm loving it. My thinking's far from average. Shopping cart just like a horse and carriage. I'm loving it. It's the real McCoy. It's the taste I was raised on from a little boy. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
The Carpet Center of East Ridge has it all, and we're located right around the corner. Quality. Our materials are top quality with your satisfaction in mind. Selection. We have a wide selection of name brand flooring that is sure to fit your design and budget. Experience. Our staff has the know-how and over 30 years of experience in the carpet business. Location. Only 10 minutes from anywhere in Chattanooga. Come see why the short drive to Carpet Center of East Ridge is the only drive you'll need to take.
12-0 lead for the Hustlin' Tigers here at halftime. And Howard Band they're still working hard at halftime, aren't they?
That, and folks, that is Ladarius Hollinsworth. That is the Howard High School homecoming king, and that's his mom with him.
I bet she's queen of that household. He may wear the crown, she wears the pants. I have on.
He's going to hold on to that crown tonight, Jim.
Absolutely. How many crowns have you gotten in your day?
I don't have one.
I was going to say, the same amount as me. I've been crowned before. I just didn't get to keep it. That happens on a nightly basis in my house.
I hope he gets to keep it. Might as well. The homecoming queen, by the way, is Calibra Mason of Howard High School.
I was going to say, and they're still celebrating. What a big, big night that has to be for them. There you see the Howard Band, and you see a little, every so often you can see the fog is thicker in some areas of the field than others. And
it is certainly strange.
Kind of gives you that eerie Halloween feel.
I'm going to give some big ups to the Howard Band. That's the biggest band I've seen physically so far this season. They've got an offensive line in the drum section.
They take it seriously, yeah. If you pitted the drums against the tubas, you'd have a pretty good game.
See something.
Good endurance as well. Herman Coulter, a head coach. Hustling Tigers in his 12th year here. Talked about for a long time what a good athlete and football player he was. And was in that Denver Broncos camp coming out of college. And said, yes, I did indeed get a signing bonus and was with Denver for a while. Came back to his hometown of Chattanooga, coached at Hardy Elementary for a while, and then came here. And he certainly likes Howard High School. He's one of those, when we talk about the school being a focal point, one of those really solid guys that has been here now in his 12th year as the head coach, 35 and 69.
And Jim, what an opportunity he has to coach his own son. I know that's got to be a thrill.
I asked him, I put the question, I said, I know some coaches, some guys that have coached their son. Some of them love it, some of them hate it. He's one of those, he goes, I absolutely love it. He goes, plus, here's the deal. I know where he is every day.
There you go.
Onside kick for McMinn Central to start the second half. Howard not fooled. And the Hustling Tigers will take over with a 12-0 lead. And our second half is now underway. So McMinn Central trying to make a big play to start the second half. Howard not fooled, ready for that situation. And the Hustling Tigers take over, first down, 10 yards to go. Just outside the 25-yard line.
Well, DeMar Hudgens had a fairly effective first half. Not quite as effective throwing the football as he wanted to be. Quite frankly, though, the Tigers didn't need to throw the football much. Well, let's see how they open up. It looks like they might try and start the third quarter on the ground.
You got to like their running game, the way they were able to do some things and hit the corners and go wide when they wanted to, keep them honest, good play calling with the reverse. They start out with something simple that has worked in the first half, and that is give the football to Hakeem Townsend.
I'll tell you what, Hakeem has been a load tonight carrying the football. He carried about 3 Charger defenders into the sideline that time.
How'd you like to have an Hakeem Townsend as your number 2 tailback? When Maurice Mangum went down, they come in with Hakeem Townsend, and he hasn't made the big 74, 75-yard run that Mangum did earlier for the first score of the game, but he's certainly been steady in that backfield to be sure. And there's about a 7-yard pickup on first down. I'm sorry, making a couple-yard pickup on first down. Try that pass. He always throw it backwards to Lance Coulter. And Coulter makes it to about the 35-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds. Number 2 knocked out by number 2. Malcolm Jackson of McMinn Central makes a heck of a play. Watch this. Lance Coulter gets this on what is basically a long handoff. And watch number 2 at the top of your screen, folks. Fly in there and make a great tackle on Lance Coulter. Good job by Malcolm Jackson.
That is a Howard first down. That's so dangerous, though, when you throw it backwards like that. You can throw it just a yard or 2 forward, and if he doesn't catch it, it's an incomplete pass.
And DeMar Hutchins has had some trouble with that tonight already.
I think I'd throw it down the field 1 or 2 more yards. That is so dangerous to throw it laterally like that, knowing if he doesn't hang on, it's a free football. Some running room for Rico Council. Tries to bounce it to the outside, and he refuses to go down. What a nice run. That'll only net 5 yards. But Rico Council, just a freshman, just said, I am not going down on the first hit.
Folks, Rico has been stout all night long, and he's done this a couple of times. He just runs into his own man, runs into 2, 3, 4 Chargers, keeps on chugging. The legs continue to turn. Nice gain for the Tigers. 5 yards on that play.
I think Chris Cooley, the roverback, finally finished him off, but it took 3 of them to finally get him down.
It really did.
You see Antonio Orr, number 74, big sophomore left tackle for the Hustling Tigers. 5-yard pickup on that first down play. Tigers already with a 12-0 lead. Bobble to snap. McMinn Central says they got it back.
They got it.
McMinn Central looking for some big play, and that just looked like a bad exchange from the get-go. Hudgens bobbled it, tried to get it back. I just don't think he ever had control. It was down, and McMinn Central was able to come away with a loose football, I believe.
I think you're right, Jim. Let's take a look at it on the replay here. DeMar just never brings that in.
You can see they were just battling for that loose football for a long time.
You know, everyone's talked about Casey Clausen's play a lot this week. You know, when the quarterback gets the snap, he needs to put it in his stomach and then into the running back's stomach. and that did not happen on that play. As a result, McMinn Central takes over.
Run the option, and there's some running room, but a penalty flag. That looks like that one's going to come back. Let's see what happened there. Nice run for the Chargers, and remember, McMinn Central still does not have a first down.
Good offensive run by the Chargers and a nice throw by the official. He launched that flag about 10 yards in the air.
It's going to be holding against McMinn Central. And so back him up, and I think there's another player down for Howard. We'll see. Yeah, right on that far sideline, right in front of the McMinn Central bench. That's why you saw the coach of the Tigers, Herman Coulter, running across the field like that. We've had a scary moment, I think, every week of this high school football season. That's one of those.
We sure have. I hope we don't have one again tonight.
Howard has played so well, looking for that, what has become a very, very elusive first victory of the season. But how neat would it be for the Tigers to go your first 7 weeks of the season without a win and claim a victory in your last 2 games and get into the playoffs? And that's what Herman Coulter kind of told his team. He goes, if you all hang in there, if you just try to play hard as you can. That's Akeem Townsend that's hobbling off, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
Jim, in this case, it really doesn't matter how you started, but just rather how you finished. That makes the big difference for both these teams tonight.
And if you get that invitation to the playoffs, it's like when I was in high school trying to go to the prom. I might have been turned down 12 times, and I finally got in
there you go.
In the heat of battle. That's the way Howard looks at it. We might have lost our first 7. If we get a date with the last 2, we're still in good shape.
If you can't, my dad used to say, if you can't be first, just be next.
McMinn Central with the possession right here. Clock running, 9.5 minutes to play third quarter. Howard scored on their first 2 possessions. That's been a dead even game after that. Howard's moved the football a little bit better. We saw that turnover by the hustling Tigers a moment ago. Central trying to throw with time. Moses puts it up in the air looking for a receiver, overthrown and incomplete. They was trying to hit Malcolm Jackson, the guy we were talking about. Trying to find a way to get the football in his hands. He is just too good. Came into this game with 15 receptions, but not a touchdown pass.
Jim, on that play, Nathan Moses scrambled, got his legs under him, and took a heck of a shot here. But what let him down was Malcolm Jackson kind of quit on the play just a little bit, stopped running his pattern, and that's why the ball was overthrown.
So it'll be a third down for McMinn Central. As we said, third and long, about 17 to go for the Chargers. Being chased. Got to unload.
It's been that kind of night for McMinn Central and Nathan Moses especially. That play kind of symbolizes what the offense has run into at McMinn Central. You see Nathan, he can't even get a play to develop because he's under extreme duress, chased by that hustling Howard Tiger defense.
When they know when McMinn Central becomes predictable and Howard could just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback, they have been very, very impressive tonight.
Jim, the most important thing for the Chargers right now, get the ball to your punter quickly and give him some time to get a good kickoff.
Price, the punter. Snap, again, decent penetration. Had to hurry the kick. They'll take a McMinn Central roll and go out of bounds. Somewhere around the 40-yard line is where the Hustling Tigers will get it. Right at the 40. Hustling Tigers rolling. They have a 12-0 lead, and their defense playing awfully well.
I'm loving it. Great moments happen fast. 1 minute you're on top, but how long will it last? I'm loving it. So I'm trying to buy. Me and the lady should give it a test drive. I'm loving it. My thinking's far from average. Shopping cart just like a horse and carriage. I'm loving it. It's the real McCoy. It's the taste I was raised on from a little boy. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Come on, take the money and drive.
Get to Preble Kia. Save thousands when you buy your brand new Kia. Like a new Kia Rio priced over $4,100 less than Corolla, over $4,200 less than Civic. Or a new Optima priced nearly $3,300 less than Accord, over $5,600 less than Camry. Plus, make every mile count with Kia's exclusive 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Get to Tennessee's #1 Kia dealer. Save thousands. Preble Kia, 153 in Shallowford Road, Chattanooga.
Come on, take a monkey and drive.
Hustlin' Tigers will take over. There is indeed something to cheer about. Tigers have it on their own 40-yard line. They scored the first time they touched the football at the 8:49 mark of the first quarter. Scored again at the 2:44 mark of the first quarter. But since that time, it's been nothing. Howard got off to the quick start, but McMinn Central has made some adjustments, as good coaches do, and had a nothing football game since those first two possessions of the game for the Hustlin' Tigers.
Back up.
They begin again in good field position. They're down for field position. Howard's had the advantage all night. Running room again on that far sideline. I think that is Rico Council. It is Council, just a freshman. Remember, he kind of hobbled off the last possession. It didn't look like he was too slow right there, though.
He sure didn't. You know what McMinn Central did that time was they kind of gambled with a run blitz right up the middle defensively, and what Mr. Townsend was able to do is avoid that initial onslaught and again chug out a good gain for the Tigers.
Picks up about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2 yards to go. 2nd and 2. Hudgens, a quarterback. He'll go from the shotgun right here. Split backfield. Wide receiver near side, and again, might be too much time, or maybe someone jumped on that offensive line.
Well, what DeMar does is almost after every play he does, just what you're seeing here, goes right over to Coach Coulter, gets the play, but then has a little bit tough time getting his teammates in the right position, and that's why we've seen a couple of delay of game penalties tonight for the Tigers.
Yeah, by the time you run all the way and talk to your coach and then huddle them up and then bring them to the line of scrimmage, first of all, you don't have time to make any adjustments whatsoever. And maybe Herman Coulter doesn't want them to make any adjustments, but you probably don't have time to check off right there. So a loss of 5, a 2nd and 2 becomes a 2nd and 7. Move it back to about the 43-yard line, 43 and a half, really. Hudgens under center, hands it off to Rico Council again. Council drags a couple, but doesn't pick up a lot of yards. Good job by that McMinn Central defense. Howard trying to run between the tackles. McMinn Central would have none of it. Good defensive play.
Just about the same play we saw just a few minutes ago, and this time McMinn Central's defense strings it out a little bit better.
Lance Freeman led the charge, sophomore quarterback. Nice job that time. There you see Lance, just a sophomore again. Seems like every name we pull up on that McMinn Central, we're talking freshman, sophomore. The word senior hasn't been said very many times tonight to describe that McMinn Central football team. 3rd down, pass near side. They have to get to midfield.
Ball's loose.
Ball's loose, and I thought the whistle was going to blow, but they may actually, I think they're going to let that turnover go and say yes. That's the 2nd straight fumble for the Hustlin' Tigers in the 2nd half.
And Jim, on 3rd and short with that offensive line, Howard decides to go wide, and Malcolm Jackson comes in to bring the leather, knocks the ball loose from Howard, and McMinn Central recovers.
At the Howard 46-yard line, 7:08 to play 3rd quarter. And again, McMinn Central just hanging around right now.
Kentrail Lawless that time for Howard couldn't hold on to the football, and as a result, the Chargers take over.
I was going to say, we keep talking about how dominant Howard has been, but you take a look, McMinn Central a couple scores away. Trying to turn the corner. One thing they said, we know it's going to be awfully tough to do. Couldn't do it that time. Tried to turn a corner.
Folks, that fog is making it difficult on everybody right now. It seems to come and go.
That was Matt Jackson, ball carrier.
Got another Howard player down on the field. It looks like Alonzo Spring He's been a very active linebacker tonight.
Let's be honest, some other places we've been, you take a look on that sideline and there's player after player after player after player. These two teams are a little bit thin, so I think the injury situation could really be magnified. And that's what's happened to these two teams a couple of times this year. You get into the fourth quarter, you get a player or two dinged up during the game, and all of a sudden they really can't seal the deal, can't finish off what would be a victory. And that's why combined, these two teams are 1-13 entering the game. Alonzo Springs, sophomore linebacker. And again, he can't put any pressure on that leg right there.
Second bad ankle injury we've seen tonight.
And other players have come off on their own power, although hobbling and limp a little bit. But Alonzo Springs played really a nice game at the linebacker spot, just a sophomore. Alonzo can't put any pressure on that leg whatsoever.
Looks like Alonzo might be done for the evening as well. Second down and 10 for the Chargers.
Have it on the Howard 45-yard line. Again, McMinn Central looking for that first down of the night. They throw the pass near side. There's Malcolm Jackson, who dodges one, still on his feet, and that should be first down of the evening for McMinn Central, down to the 32-yard line. Yes, a 13-yard pickup, and McMinn Central's first down of the evening. And that's the man we talked about, Malcolm Jackson, who really can make some plays.
Jim, we talked about his great play on defense that knocked the ball loose. This time he gets the ball in the open field and you can see what he does. He's got a great burst. Gets the play in the field, misses one tackle, 2, 3, 4 Tigers, eventually 5 bring him down. Big gain for the Chargers.
And Michael Ford was shaken up a little bit on that play and checked out. Preston Wood will replace him, that Howard defensive alignment. First down of the night for McMinn Central. Try to go to the tailback, Matt Jackson, once again, and the flags before that. Matt Jackson's only a junior. Clock stopped right now. 6:14 left to play third quarter. Howard with a 12-0 lead. Tigers scored 2 first-quarter touchdowns, and they've been blanked the rest of the way, and here's a penalty against the hustling Tigers.
Yeah, the defense called for encroachment. They're entering the neutral zone, offsides, whatever you want to call it, but that's given McMinn Central a lot of momentum, Jim. They've put a decent drive together here.
1st and 5 at the 27-yard line. Best situation the Chargers have been in all night. See Nathan Moses goes under center, quarterback. Pitch sweep far side to Jackson. Jackson turns the corner, breaks a tackle. There is a penalty flag down. Wow, that one was thrown way back in the backfield. You'd kind of guess that from behind they saw a holding call. So that one may be coming back, but that the official that threw that was a long way away from the play.
Quarterback Nathan Moses actually pointed to Howard, but his offensive linemen, they're the ones who are going to be tagged for holding on this play.
And again, these two young teams have really had problems overcoming those type of penalties this year. When you're a young team and very inconsistent, as both these teams have been throughout the year up to this point, you know, you get your offense going, your defense forces a turnover, you get the football in good field position, you finally pick up a first down, then you have another good play to get your second first down of the night, and all of a sudden there's the flag comes out, they move it back, and all of a sudden you're back at square one. This is where they took over the football. They got it on the 46-yard line, went forward, picked up what would have been their second first down, and then all of a sudden they have it back on the 43 after the hold. High formation, handoff, fullback right up the middle. And Howard's ready for it once again. Guess who is there? Big Darius McDonald, number 52. I tell you what.
Look at 52. He just says no. This play is over.
What an impressive defensive player. And those two, 52 and 55, Alexis Lewis and Darius McDonald. Let me tell you right now, you're not going to run through those two. You might run around them. You better have some speed to do that.
55 and 52 are some awfully big bookends to anchor that Howard defensive line.
That adds up to 107 between those two.
At least.
And maybe about 600 pounds, maybe. There are two. That tackle combination for Howard. Lewis and McDonald, boy, they played well tonight.
Well, you can see, Jim, 52 and 55 are so big, they tie up most of the McMinn Central offensive line. So that frees a lot of other people to come from the corners.
That's the old philosophy. You can't double team everyone.
Darius McDonald and Alexis Lewis.
Boy, remember those names. The thing about McDonald, he's a sophomore. Lewis a senior. Darius McDonald a sophomore. Third down for the Chargers right here. Third down and long. Moses to throw. Steps up.
Got a man.
Puts it up in the air, but probably threw it over the wrong shoulder. Trying to hit Lance Freeman, the sophomore wide receiver. And Freeman did indeed break open for a moment. That could have been a big, big play for the Chargers.
Second time they've had this play break for them and had a man wide open. And Nathan Moses actually had some time to throw the football there, but I'll tell you what, as you said, Jim, threw it over the wrong shoulder.
Almost looked like he had a problem gripping the football. Might be a little bit slick out there. Conditions a little bit soft, and so McMinn Central, after finally picking up a first down, will be forced to punt it away. A high snap, good rush, gets it off. It's going to take a roll.
Good kick.
McMinn Central, great coverage before it gets into the end zone.
Great job.
That's going to be down to inside the 5-yard line. What a big play by the specialty teams right there.
Mickey Price with a great kick, but his coverage team really hustling down in the field, and they're going to have this inside the 5-yard line. So Howard in the back of their own end zone, I should say. Price kicks this thing away. Now watch his team hustle down the field. Gets a good roll, and then watch him cover it. Great job by the Chargers. You know, you always can measure a team's desire by the way the special teams plays, and you can see the Chargers are still getting after it here.
They'll start on about the 3-yard line with 3:54 to play in the third quarter.